Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos going on 8. We are entering our 6th year of homeschooling. So I have elementary kids, I have middle school, and I have high school for the first time for this upcoming year. I wanted to do a video on how my choices of curriculum have changed over the last 6 years. And this I'm going to do primarily for elementary and middle school-ish. When I first started, it was very much, I thought, okay, we're going to wake up at 8 and we're going to finish at this time, and quickly learned that wasn't the case. I have gone through the piece things together phase, which I am doing a little bit of for my incoming 6th grader, more so for her than for anyone else. Really, pretty much only for her, actually, for a couple of subjects. I will link that video. I don't know which video actually is going up first. It might be that one. So if that one goes up first, I will link that here. But I wanted to kind of go over how my I guess my plan has changed, how things have changed as I have gone through each year. I have, for middle school and for elementary school, really, at the beginning, I really thought that it was should be very curriculum based and very, for every subject, I needed to have a curriculum piece and a curriculum book and all of the things. In Texas, we do not have to record anything. We do not have to do grades until, high school transcript and stuff like that. And so the lack of checking up on homeschoolers and the lack of rules in Texas is I think is a good thing, because you can do a lot more interest-based things. And that is my first point. I have learned as I have gone each year through that interest-based things really keep those kids' attention in the elementary and middle school years. I will be homeschooling my 2nd middle schooler going into this year, and I have really seen that necessary with her to do more interest-based on subjects such as science and history, as opposed to a set curriculum piece where you just do it just because you think it's a science course and you have to do all of the science pieces that are in that course. Yes, it is important, but she will learn that further on down the road. And she will have to do that in upper level classes, high school, for example. And that is when it will really matter. The elementary and the middle school years are still so formative that you can do those interest-based things and still be learning in those subjects. You can still be learning science and do interest-based. You can still be learning history and do interest-based, as opposed to this, mumbo jumbo, all this extra stuff that they have no interest in, which, yes, you will have to learn things that you don't always have interest in, but leave that for high school, where you have to do that and you have to learn that and you don't have a choice. Elementary and middle school, let them learn what they want to learn, and I think that really helps them figure out what they want to do as they get older and after high school. And in high school, when they have extra classes that they can take or electives that they can take, then they already know what they might be interested in, so they can expand on that in high school and actually get credit for it, and maybe continue on doing that after high school. Not being so specific, like I mentioned, with curriculum. Math, I think, needs to be a specific curriculum. Language arts needs to be a specific curriculum. When my oldest first started homeschooling, I did not have a very good foundation for language arts curriculum. And so I was trying to do a certain curriculum piece and it just wasn't working correctly. And so it was frustrating. And I think I did that for maybe like, I guess a year or two, fourth and fifth grade. And then finally I found the good and the beautiful. And then that's where it really picked up after that. But for math, yes, I think it is very important that they have a good curriculum piece for math and for language arts. The rest, I really feel like you do not need to be as specific as some people are. Now, with that being said, if there is something that you and your child enjoy, stick with it. You don't have to jump around just for the sake of jumping around and for the sake that there's 10 different vocabulary curriculums or 10 different spelling curriculums. If it works, use it, keep it. There is nothing that says that you have to change every year just to change things up, because you don't always want to do that unless you have to. And I think that's important for people to understand, is that yes, there are, in some subjects, there are a gazillion different curriculum pieces and companies, but that doesn't mean that you have to, do every one. Now, also, you could take a sample from, because most of these curriculum companies have samples online, print out a sample page or a sample chapter, whatever, sample lesson, and let them see what they enjoy. What do they enjoy doing? What do they enjoy, what format do they enjoy most? And use that as your basis for what you choose. But it does not always have to be a curriculum set with all of the things in it in the elementary and middle school years. Middle school for us, as we have continued on, it is becoming more interest-based as my kids are moving on up, but you are still preparing for high school. And like I said, language arts and math specifically. So you want to make sure that that foundation is there, that foundation is good for those two subjects specifically. Interest-based could be on the others, but make sure that their math and their language arts is solid. Because once you hit high school, and I started my incoming ninth grader, I started him in pre-algebra in seventh grade. I could have waited till eighth grade, and I probably will do that with my second. But he started math like that in middle school. And so he already has that foundation for his upper level math. So as he's doing this upper level math, he is more confident in it because he's been doing it for much longer. So yes, middle school is definitely still more flexible, but you want to make sure that you have your bases covered and that you are preparing them for what is to come, especially in eighth grade. Make sure that they are aware. You do not want to have them be, doing whatever they want to do and all this eclectic curriculum in eighth grade, and then go straight into this very rigid, solid schedule for high school, because that will throw them off guard, and that might not go very well. So if anything, for eighth grade, that is your prep year. That is the year that you are making sure that they understand what is to come, and maybe you are giving them a more independence, and maybe you are giving them more structured curriculum, but still somewhat interest-led. And then also recognizing, especially in elementary school, because they can get frustrated in elementary school with learning and maybe not being interested in certain things. Recognize the different ways that they learn with each kid and reevaluate each year. because maybe you think that they do really well with you reading to them a history curriculum, or I don't know, whatever it might be. And they might do better on their own, or they might do better watching a video. There are plenty of curriculums that even in elementary school, they have a video that you can watch, or they can watch and do it themselves. Understand that their ways of learning will evolve. And I have seen that in my younger kids that have gone from kinder to first to second, second to third, that they really do change as they get more confident in reading, as they get more confident in math. And maybe as long as they can read, and they can read the directions themselves, maybe they prefer to do it themselves. Let them figure out if that works, and figure out if that's something that helps you and helps them, because maybe they don't comprehend as well if you're sitting there reading something to them, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they can't sit down and read it themselves and comprehend. Maybe they need to hear that and hear the directions and hear the story, and to understand and grasp whatever information that you're giving them. That is important too. So how I've changed over the last 6 years, when I look back and see what my expectations were back then versus now. Now, again, not everybody is going to have this many kids that they are homeschooling at one time. And I totally get that. So I have had to really kind of step back and look at each child individually and say, okay, this child needs this particular type of curriculum, or this child, I need to devote more time to reading out loud to them, or them reading to me, or sitting there and picking a curriculum that somebody else teaches, because they don't listen well when I try and teach it, or they don't understand my way of teaching it. I have really had to not stress out about it too much, but be cognitive and be aware that each child is different and each child evolves. And maybe what I think they do well at, as far as how they learn and how they comprehend things, as they hit upper middle school and high school, that might not be the case. They might completely change, and based on the subject that they're learning, or based on the level that they're learning on, it might be completely different. So keep those things in mind. Those are just some of, through my experience, like I said, going into my 6th year. And age plays such a huge role in it, because I think as they're younger and then they start getting it, it starts clicking, whether it's reading or math or whatever, they might not need you to baby them, and they might prefer to do things independently, which is great for you, but make sure that it works for them also. So let me know if you have any questions down below, guys, about any of it. I am an open book when it comes to anything that I have taught, or anything that I have, direction that I have gone the last 6 years in this journey. Because like I said, I'm about to have a high schooler. This will be my 2nd middle schooler, and then elementary school, pre-K, you name it. I'm just still learning on the high school level. So that's the only thing, is I'm still learning. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will see you next time. Take care.